Let's see. Was it on browser? I can't remember. I can't remember where I had put it. But oh well. Somebody had tagged me in something. Hold on, let me put you on speaker before we even get started. Where is the speaker cord? Oh, here it is. It fell on the floor.
Yeah, I may have to mute y'all for a little bit. I'm moving a little furniture.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just plugging up the speaker right now. You there?
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. Whatever you're doing, I'm up here trying to figure out this. Let's see, window capture.
Okay, I'm about to mute you, hon.
Okay. Yeah, somebody had just tagged me in something and they caught me off guard. It was you probably know her if you go to my page. She literally just tagged me in something. But she said, hold on. Her name is Patricia. She said, okay, before I say goodnight, I have a numerous amount of talented cake makers on my page, and I would like to have a special cake made. So the only way I can think of being fair is to see who knows what my favorite color and age is. Whoever answers that, then I will proceed with my order, because I never want to leave anyone out, as all of my FB acquaintances are gifted. Indeed. So with that being said, and I really want some cake, please, the ones who are tagged, answer these two questions and the mystery question. Please, then I will reveal the answers and have a cake made. Yay, just for me. I am very simple, and I would like a nice cake for me and my baby girl. So her questions are, what's my favorite color? The second question is, how old am I? And the mystery question is, last but not least, what do I like and have tons of? Girl, I have no idea on any of those questions. I'm like, that's the first time I ever had something like that happen before. So I'm like, I guess I won't be making the cake. Like, oh well, that was too cute. But I'm just answer honestly. I'm sorry, but I don't know. But anyway, what you got going on? Did I hang up on her? Chianti? I don't know if she's there or not. We had a caller on the phone. Hey, everybody, welcome to the live. Please make sure you come on in. Please click the like button. Share the live out, you guys. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, on YouTube. If you have a community tab, please share it on your community tab. What we're going to be discussing tonight, I told you guys the other day that somebody had inboxed me, and somebody had made a YouTube. I can't talk now. I'm getting my tongue tight. They had made a suggestion of a subject that we could discuss on my channel, and I told them, sure, I wouldn't mind discussing, the topic that they had in mind. So the person who inboxed me on Facebook, matter of fact, hold on one second. Okay, the person who inboxed me on Facebook, I'm gonna read off what they said. They said, here it is. They had an idea for a show on advice for single parents on how to keep their kids on the right path to success. So that's what they suggested, and I was like, that's a good idea. That's a good idea for a topic for a show. Especially in light of recent events. Well, I wouldn't even say recent events, past events that just came back to the forefront. And that is, of course, the TV show on Netflix that I've been reviewing for the last 4 days. which is When They See Us, that story about the 5 boys, the Central Park 5, who was wrongly accused and put in prison and served time from 6 to 14 years. The boys were ages 14 through 16. So I figured maybe we could tie in the two, discuss, have people call in or comment in the chat, advice on, how do you believe, or if you're a parent who already have grown children that have been successful, kind of, grew up, with a good head on their shoulders, and you think you did an awesome job, first of all, give yourself a pat on the back, and a hand clap, because we need more parents out here that are, willing to not just raise their children, but just be involved with your children so that they can grow up to be successful in all areas of their life. So I figured, that was a good idea. The one of my subscribers suggested it. And I've always said before, if anybody has any suggestions, for a topic of discussion, feel free to inbox me. Feel free to, IG me, DM me, Tanya's Primetime TV on IG. Or, on Facebook, Tanya's Primetime TV, media reviews, just like the name of my YouTube channel. So I was like, I think that's a good idea. So, and then when I was thinking about the Central Park 5, since, everybody's discussing it, doing commentary on it, doing reviews on it, people are being really moved by this Netflix documentary, which I thought was fabulous. All the actors, the young ones, the old ones, I think everybody did a great job in that show. To show us, the real life story of those 5 young boys, how they were falsely accused and put in prison. So the second half, or, not really the second half, but there's going to be, this is a 2-part discussion, advice for single parents. You can call in, you can speak on the topic, or you can just chat it up in the lives. Hey, Miss Natalie Nolans, how are you doing? Good to see ya. Good to see ya. So we're going to be discussing tonight, advice for single parents. You can call in. You can tell us about, a certain situation you might have had with your children or raising your children or, anything like that. And also the second part, or the other half of the topic we're discussing tonight, is, should our kids fear the police? Should we raise our kids to fear the police? So again, it's a Tupac. Did I say Tupac? Tupac, he must be up there thinking about me. We was married, me and Pac. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be discussing tonight. I had somebody on the line. I don't know what happened. Maybe I should try to call her back. Let me make sure I got it plugged up right. Let's see. I got it on. Okay, it's on. Let me just make sure the volume is up. Hello? Hello? I know she told us she was going to put us on mute for a minute to do something. She did say she was going to put us on mute for a minute, but it's been some time since I heard from her. But yes, I am doing wonderful. Thank you for asking, Miss Natalie Nolans. I know we ran into each other a few times today because we've been, commenting on each other's videos and watching each other's videos, giving each other support. I've been doing that for you, and me and Donna been running to each other today as well, commenting on each other's videos. So, it's a lot of people out here. I really love, a lot of the people in my subscribers in my Primetime Squad. I'm trying to fix my shirt here so I don't be showing too much cleavage. Too much cleavages. I don't want to show too much cleavage. But I'm trying to what was I about to say? Yo, yeah, I'm thankful for a lot of people in my primetime squad because a lot of y'all are really supportive. A lot of y'all are really supportive, and so that's why I give support back and watch your videos and comment and like your videos and all that, help other people with their channels. But this topic that we're going to be discussing tonight again is called advice for single parents, and should our kids fear the police. Now, if you watch that 4-part documentary, based on the true story of the Central Park Five, let me know how you feel about what could have possibly, what could have, or maybe some decisions that anybody could have made that might have altered their fate. Like, for instance, when the boys were after school and they wanted to go with the crowd and, things like that, are things that we can do, as parents. Like the second part of the topic of discussion is, should our kids fear police? Like I've been saying, since I started reviewing When They See Us, that a lot of kids don't know how to act when they're around cops. Hey guys, hey, how you doing? Thanks for stopping through to show some love. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks, check it out. Thanks for stopping through. But I believe you said yes. Check it out. You think they should be fearing police? Yeah. A lot of people feel that way. Like police. I know when we was growing up, it's crazy because I don't know why. But you know how sometimes you be driving and you're not doing nothing wrong? You're not doing nothing wrong. But still a cop will come behind you and you just automatically slow down a little, or you pay just maybe 10 times more attention to the road, because you don't want to get pulled over for anything. Like, I sometimes get butterflies in my stomach or, something like that when a cop, drives past me like really slow, or if they seem like they follow me, because I ain't gonna lie. I do not like interacting with the police. I really don't. And it's crazy because I'm one of those people, like most of us, who will, if we need help, we gonna call them. If we think somebody breaking in our house, we gonna call them. If we sick and think we need an ambulance, we gonna call them. But other than that, most people don't want to have nothing to do with the police, and it shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't be like that. And it's sad that some people raise their kids to fear police instead of respecting police. I think it goes hand in hand. Like, I always taught my kids to respect authority, no matter if it's me, your grandparents, your teachers, your coaches, the police, But then I always told them, if somebody's disrespecting you, like a teacher, another grown-up, or you think somebody's physically abused you or treated you wrong, or, something like that, discriminated, if you felt like you've been discriminated against, that's when you come home and you let your parents know, because, you're always supposed to be respectful to adults. Now, of course, if somebody is hurting you or harming you, or you think they are, the best thing to do is try your best to get away. Try your best to get away. So with regular adults like the grandparents, the teachers, the principal, the, people like that, we teach them to respect. Respect them, and if you got a problem with them, bring it home and we'll handle that situation. We'll go, we'll step up for you, have your back and figure out what's going on, and how we can resolve the situation. But when it comes to police, it's like, okay, you can't just teach your kids to respect the cops. You can't just teach them to, when a cops pull you over, just stand there like at attention, like as if you're at an army camp or something like that. That's what a lot of, parents, and I saw like on different TV shows, different movies, especially like primetime TV shows, because a lot of TV shows, the evening time primetime TV shows, they talk about a lot of things that deal with real life stuff, like sex, like underage children having babies, children smoking, drinking, going out there doing things they're not supposed to. They talk about stuff like that. Kids getting pulled over. And I didn't seen that on primetime TV shows where they pull you to the side, and they have to sit down and they have to talk to you and teach you, like literally teach you. And I have to do this with my kids, so I have to do it too. I have to reiterate some things to my child. The last few days, the youngest one, about how to act when you're around the police. Like, if you get pulled over, if you at the mall and they run up to you and they say somebody said you was stealing or something in the mall, and you ain't stole nothing, because you always come with money when you go shopping, and if you ain't got it, I got it. That's how it goes. You don't send your kid to the mall broke. I mean, that's a easy way for kids to be like, I see that over there, but I ain't got no money. It's temptation. So me, I'm that parent. If you ain't got no money, why are you going to the mall? What you going to the mall? I just want to tag along with my friends. No. You gotta have some money. You gotta have some money in your pocket, before you go to the mall. But yeah, even at places like the malls or anywhere, you have to teach your children how to act, because you want them to come home. And if they have a situation with a cop, I mean, you can't never predict what's going to happen in every situation, but at least they can be prepared. Like this show, literally, and other shows like it. A lot of other shows are out there. Some of them based off of true stories. Some of them, fiction. Movies and stories. And they have situations where kids get involved with the police. They might try to walk away. Man, I ain't did nothing. You try to walk away. Next thing you know, they getting tased in the back. Or they getting jumped from the back. Or they getting hit from the back. Or they getting shot from the back. So, it's really important that we teach our children how to act when they, out there, away from us. Like the things I saw in that movie, like there were so many mistakes that could have been prevented. And I know the police were coercing these kids, and they were, trying to make them say what they wanted them to hear, and things like that. But it was so many mistakes on. I don't want to blame the parents. Because they might not have thought that they needed to sit down with their children when they hit 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and be like, okay, son, what would you do if this happened? What would you do in this situation? What would you do if, a cop did this, if a cop cussed you out, if a cop called you the N-word, stuff like that? How would you react? And most kids, especially if they high-headed, they're going to be like, I'm going to cuss him back out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, and they be fighting. They be, not fighting the cop, but just trying to get away. Like, when the little boy got jumped, when Kevin got jumped, Kevin Richardson, when he got jumped, that's the one that had the big old eye, because the cop had tackled him down, and he was still squirming around and screaming and kicking and all that kind of stuff, and the cop hit him over the head with his helmet and darn near tried to put his eye out. I mean, not saying it won't happen if we teach our kids more about the police. It should, because the schools they teach you to respect the police. The schools, they do that. They have the officers come into school. They have the officers come to the kids. They might have a police department come to the daycare, or come to the kid or kiddie camp or to school, and you get to climb up on the the fire truck, and ask the officers questions. And they also have, I don't know if they have it where you have it, but we have here where officers will select so many kids out of a school, or so many kids who are in living in low income families, and they will take them Christmas shopping. Around Christmas time, they'll take them Christmas shopping. They'll take them school shopping around school time. And it's like, kids, when they see that part, and they're not taught that, things could go down, when you come in contact with a cop, they won't know how to act. They like, what's going on? Why this cop? And just the same way those kids was in that show, they was sitting there looking like, what's going on? Why they hitting me? Why they making me say this? We didn't do it. Woo, 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 woo. And instead of being firm in their belief and being firm in their truth, and telling the cops, no, I want a lawyer. No, I want to see my mom. No, I want my guardian. No, none of them kids was like, being firm. They was being firm about, I didn't know what happened. I wasn't there, stuff like that. But when they started writing down statements and they started signing papers, we have to teach our kids stuff like that. You don't sign nothing. I don't know who it was. I think it was, let me see if I can find the comment. Because somebody had commented on one of my videos earlier today, and they said, yes, teach the children not to sign no statements. Teach the children to not agree to anything, don't confess to anything. I mean, I don't think they should necessarily be fearing the police or scared of the police, because you don't want them to think that they can't call on the police when they need the police. You don't want them to think that the police will never be there for them, or think that all police are bad, because some people do put that out in the universe. I hate all police, remember back in the day, the F the Police song by MWA. I mean, a lot of people think all police are bad, or the majority of them is bad, and I don't want to think that. I don't want to believe that all police are bad. I really, really don't want to believe that. But, in my upbringing, I done ran into some bad cops, and I done ran into some good cops, and some really, really friendly, down to earth cops from your hood, from your neighborhood, and then in that same surroundings, there's, the other. That, the other cops, the ones who see you and they look at you like you crazy, look at you like you did something, or look like they looking for a reason to pull you over or arrest you so they can, make their numbers. Because, I don't know if it's true or not, but I've been hearing it all my life that at the end of the month, cops have to have so many, or they try to have so many tickets or citations, or I don't know if that's really true, but I believed it. I believed it since I first had my first car when I was 16 years old, and my parents took me to pick out my first car. I believed it ever since then. At the end of the month, everybody be like, okay, you see all the cops, they sitting in the cut, they got the little scanner trying to see if people speeding, trying to see if people, who they can pull over to harass. Literally to harass. So, a lot of people believe that. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true. If anybody knows or not, let me know. Or let me know how it goes down, in your neck of the woods where you stay. Because we see that a lot around here. And I'm in Omaha, Nebraska, in the Midwest. We see that a lot around here, towards the end of the month. And it'd be the same exact spots. It's always in the hood. And somebody will make a post on Facebook or something. It's a speed trap on such and such street. Slow down. Y'all better drive right, or you're going to get a ticket. They do it all the time. And then some people, I remember one time, it was a radio station here, and they still here. It's still the same radio station. And I remember once upon a time, years and years ago, They used to announce on their
I'm back, boo.
oh, you back? I'm like, okay, hold on one second, let me finish this little bit. She's back now. But I remember once upon a time.
I had to put you on hold because I was moving furniture.
Oh yeah, I remember. I thought I had lost you though. But yeah, and Keontae, you might be able to vouch for this or verify for this. I was just talking about how, it seems like at the end of the month, from what I've always been taught growing up, at least here in Omaha, I've been taught growing up that at the end of the month is like a big time for the police, and they try to get a lot of citations, try to give out a lot of tickets.
They trying to reach quota.
Right, quota, okay, and then they be having like speed traps like in the hood, like on 30th, on 42nd, on 72nd, all through the hood. And I was telling them, like, do you remember the radio station long time ago when they used to make announcements on the radio, speed trap on such and such, speed trap on such and such, and then remember when they said they couldn't do that anymore, otherwise they would take away their funding or something for commercial or something like that, and they couldn't do that anymore. And everybody was like, oh, man, that's messed up.
Basically, they felt like it was interfering with their job or their duties or some mess like that.
Yep. But sometimes...
And I felt like, they were doing a public service.
Exactly.
By letting us know, because when else are they in the hood? They don't represent us any other time.
Right. And why? I don't know if you were I know you were on mute, but I don't know if you were hearing the conversation I was having about, should we teach our kids or raise our kids to fear police? How do you feel about that?
It's not so much that I am raising my kids to fear the police. I still want them to respect them.
Oh, it's a little county. Am I
I've
playing?
also told my kids not to respect nobody that don't respect them.
Keontae, am I playing in your background, or do you have me on speaker? Because it's kind of garbled.
I thought see, hold on, let me just get out of YouTube, period. Okay, can you hear me better now?
I kind of hear a little. Are you on speakerphone?
Yeah, I'm on speakerphone, but I'm outside right now.
Yeah, you're going to have to take it off of speakerphone so you can come through real clear.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like it's like a garble. Okay, bet. I don't hear it anymore. Okay, that's perfect.
Hey, Tanya?
Yeah, that's perfect. It sounds a lot better.
Okay. No, I've always told my kids, you don't respect nobody that don't respect you, period, whether they 9 or 99.
Mm-hmm.
And, I understand that most police officers are out there doing their jobs. But I say about 90% of them are doing their jobs. But there's that 10% that makes the rest of the 90% look bad. Mm-hmm. And it makes you want to not trust them, to not want to support them in their causes and, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I have seen where, I don't know if you remember Boulder. Do you remember him?
Boulder.
Officer Boulder.
The name sounds familiar.
Big bald-headed white guy.
It sounds, the last name really sounds familiar.
Honey, he was known throughout North O, and he was an absolute ass.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, it didn't matter how you talked to him. You could come at him being the most respectful person, and he was just an ass. Mm-hmm. And, it's officers like him that make you say, you know what, F the police, I don't like none of them. I don't care what happens to none of them. But I'm going to tell you a good reference as far as our kids. Mm-hmm. Have you ever watched The Hate U Give?
Yes, I have. Mm-hmm.
That movie...
It was a while back, but I watched it.
It was a lot of facts.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good reference on how to teach your kids how to behave. Don't act all squirrely and jumpy and stuff like that, because they're gonna definitely come and pick you out of the crowd.
Yep.
Don't
and that's kind of what I was saying when you was
because they're gonna definitely come and pick you out of the crowd.
And that's what I was kind of saying when you had us on mute when you was doing something like that little boy, Kevin Richardson, the one who got hit over the head with the helmet, who was kind of trying to fight off the.
I haven't even.
Yeah, I was like, we got to teach our kids, like you just said. Don't act like you're gonna run. Don't act like make any quick movements. Don't stuff like that.
Mhm.
But
we also need to teach our children to know their rights.
Mhm.
Know that you don't have to answer anything of their questions, and unless they are arresting you or suspecting you of a crime, you don't even have to give them your name.
Right.
You don't have to give them nothing.
Yeah.
See, these are things that a lot of time people don't know, or they don't tell other people.
Mm-hmm.
But this is something that should be known.
Yeah.
You should know your rights when a police officer pulls you over, because I have been studying and watching plenty of these YouTube videos, and I know that's not a proper reference, but
sometimes it is.
With that.
sometimes YouTube gives you a lot of information.
Yeah, you don't give them too much information, because you pulling me over and you don't write me a ticket or nothing else. So what are you doing with that information now? Now I'm in your system.
Right. Mhm.
So now what are you doing? There are police who have harassed people. I mean, I've seen videos where these cops have gotten pissed off at citizens, and in their off time come and sit outside of people's houses.
Mhm.
And I'm like, why? What's
people.
the purpose? What are you gaining from this?
Because they baiting them. They trying to bait them.
And then on top of that, you go to file a complaint, and nothing is done, because basically, who are you filing? You're filing a complaint against the police to the police.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving it to their friend.
Right.
So. Half the time, actually probably more than half the time, they throw that shit in the trash.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it.
That's why I say the video camera is one of the best things they ever came out with.
Mm-hmm. I want to get one on my car.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to get one. I want to get one on my car to see out the front, and I also want to get one inside of my car. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like facing the driver side door, so it can record everything that's going on. Because sometimes people get intimidated when they get pulled over by the cops. Yep. Like if it's somebody in the passenger seat or somebody in the back, you're already intimidated, because there's a lot of dirty cops out there, and there's a lot of trigger happy cops out there who will quickly say, and then get off on I thought they had a gun. It was a cell phone.
Their favorite line is, I was fearing for my life.
Right, I was fearing for my life. And it's like, they, people in cars, even if you can get your phone out to record, the cops be intimidating you, like, put the phone away, turn it off.
And I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm turning this phone off.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way. You're going to have to shoot me to make me turn this phone off.
Yep. Exactly. And I'm like, I will put that thing soon as I get pulled over. If I ever was to get pulled over, I'm going to turn that bad boy on live. Right. Not record. Right. I'm gonna put it on live, so it's playing live.
Exactly.
And I can always delete it later if I don't need it. But I'm going to have it on live,
right.
So if something happens or a cop get a line and disrespect, cuss you out, anything, people is watching it live. And hopefully somebody out there, who got my back, or my primetime squad or whatever, they will be recording my recording. Shoot.
Right.
Sure.
And I'm really big on knowing your rights right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they come over and they say, roll down the window or step outside, is there a problem? Is there a reason why I need to step out, officer? Am I being detained? Because if you're not being detained, I'd be like, okay, thank you. And I would walk or drive away.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm not being detained, there's no reason for us to sit here and continue having a conversation.
Right.
Because basically all they're trying to do is bait you and egg you into an argument so that they can arrest you.
Yep. You hit it right on the nose. And I was telling the chat earlier how I think, how in school they teach kids, call 911 if you need help, if you need this. I think they need to start in school teaching kids how to react around a cop, how to act around a cop. What are your rights when a cop tries to arrest you or needs to talk to you about something? Who do you call? Call your mother. Don't sign statements. Don't sign anything without a parent around. I think they need to have classes like that in school at a young age.
Don't say nothing,
right?
Except for I need to make my phone call.
Mm-hmm. Call my mama. Call my mama or my daddy or my nana or call somebody. Sure.
Right.
But yeah, I think they need to.
And I teach my kids that, and then my son, he used to be, you know how big my son is. And I mean, he used to be just this big, goofy, always moving around kid. And once he started junior high, I had to tell him, when they look at you, they're not seeing a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
They look at you and they're seeing you as being between 14 and 16 years old.
Yeah.
And they gonna treat you like you less than nothing.
Yeah. That reminds me of the boy in the TV show, Raymond Santana, the Hispanic. The cop didn't believe when he told them he was only 14, I think he was one of the 14-year-olds. And he said, well, I just had a huge growth spurt, this year. But the cop was like not believing, then the other cop was asking his mama for a birth certificate. I'm like, because they was like,
no, I guess.
Not believing,
I've identified myself, and when they pull you over, crack the window, I say maybe an inch, enough for them to get a clipboard through.
Yeah.
And I'm dead serious, And as far as giving your information, okay, if you do want to go ahead and give them your driver's license, that's fine. Go ahead. But I've seen some where they're like, okay, what's your phone number? Why? Why do you need that?
Right.
You have my driver's license. Why do you need my phone number?
Yeah, what?
They
gonna call you and harass you later?
Girl.
We'll discuss this tomorrow, ma'am. I'm gonna call you on my lunch break. Yeah, I'm gonna call you for a follow-up. See if you got that light fixed, ma'am.
And I just, I get so tired seeing all of these videos where people, especially these young Black and Hispanic men, are doing what they are being told to, what they're being instructed to, and then they still end up losing their lives.
Yeah.
Because some cop got they got their feelings hurt, or something stupid like that.
And I don't know what kind of classes these cops go through to try to keep them from being so... They damn sure
taking a psychological evaluation.
Yeah, it's like, why are the cops why do they act more scared of us than we are of them? At least that's their excuse. They always fearing for their life. Now, we know they have a gun. But unless they see a gun on us, unless they see a gun laying in our lap in the car, on the dashboard or something, they don't know if we have a weapon. But we know they have a weapon, and we know that some of them is quick to use it. So that's, I'm like, what kind of classes and training I mean, it's so sad.
I'm going to be honest, a lot of people say, oh, they're KKK. I'm not going to go that far and say that they are like white supremacists and KKK. But I will say this, a lot of them are rejects from military, or basically, they've gotten out of the military and they couldn't adjust to civilian life. and so they join these police forces.
Yeah.
And they're overly aggressive, and then the other ones, they are just they're out to. They got a lot of aggression, and they want to take it out on somebody, and they figure this is the perfect job where I can sit here and kick somebody's ass. I can do this and that, and pretty much legally get away with it.
Yeah. Might have temper problems, might have a control issue, you know, something like that. And yeah, you're right. They basically it seems legal for a cop to harass, to beat, to kill. I mean, it seems legal, like as back in slavery days. It seems like because they always get off.
We have regressed as a society. We have regressed instead of progressing and getting better and being more unified. We have regressed. It's almost like the damn 1960s, like the Jim Crow era. It almost is. Because if you think about it, think about the 80s and 90s, we was all cool.
Yeah.
I didn't have no issues with white people. Them was shit. A lot of them was my homies. I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, like I think about like my graduating class. When I say we was all cool, I mean we was all cool. What? No, I ain't hanging out with her. That's a white girl.
Well, you know, I went to South, so
white people hang.
I went to South, so that was a melting pot of, you know, at South and Bryan, you know, all those schools over there was like a melting pot. So everybody got along, the Hispanics, the Asians, the Africans, black, white. I had white friends, Mexican friends.
Girl, think about it, we didn't have no Africans.
Girl, we had a few. At South High, we did.
We did in that Northwest, honey.
Girl, maybe not Northwest. Maybe not at Northwest. Y'all Huskies.
We didn't have none in Northwest. If they did, they was hidden.
Yeah, it was really rare because a lot of Africans didn't start migrating. Why I say migrating, not migrating. Refugees. Yeah, I don't want to say migrate.
Sudanese,
yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, we have, you know, our next block over. It's like 8 or 10 houses, you know, in a row with Sudanese over there. So, you know, that's one thing I do like about our city now is you never know who your neighbor gonna be. They might be white, they might be black.
Like my neighbor, like up at Benson, girl, did you hear all of those like Asian names being called?
Yes.
That school is almost predominantly Asian now.
Well, you know, I had to go to the awards show. You know, I had to go to the awards ceremony because my son had got a full ride. He had got 2 scholarships, and one of them was a full ride, and the other one was like a couple of $1,000s or something per semester. But, you know, still good.
Congratulations,
thank you. Thank you. He's in there playing video games right now with his friends. But I had to go to that, and it was a lot of Asians. It was a lot of Africans. It was just like, you know, and it's like the stories that some of the teachers would tell, the stories of where the kids came from and how they came from overseas and didn't have anything.
And how they survived.
Yeah, how they survived. It's like, I felt really proud for not just my son, but for all them kids, because a lot of them were refugees. I wouldn't say is that what you call Asians? You know which ones I'm talking about. I can't exactly remember.
A lot of them are Vietnamese and Korean.
Right. And you know, some Africans, I don't know exactly where they're from, but yeah, it was a lot of them. So, you know, I don't know what it is, but I'm just telling you, like, my fear of cops, I had maybe because I don't know where my mindset was regarding cops back then. When I was a teenager, I didn't really fear them, but I knew what they could potentially do. But nowadays, I fear them more.
Because my grandmother was a straight up rebel. She was a G for real, and that was how she raised us. That you don't fear no man but God.
Right. Yeah.
And, you know, Yeah, he's a cop, but he put his pants on one leg at a time like you do.
Just like we do. And let's see, Claude in the chat, he said, I believe that some cops are fundamentally racist and react out of fear. And he said it's sad, and I agree, race relations seem to be out of control. Yep, I agree.
It is.
I agree.
And it's hard to balance, especially with my daughter. She's 8, and it's a tough balancing act right now, because she watches the news and she sees all of this stuff happening, and it's hard to explain to her not to be so angry at white people and this and that, even though she's watching this on the news. She's watching what's happening, but she knows we have white neighbors, we have white friends, hell, we have white family, and I mean like close white family, and it's hard to try to explain that to an 8-year-old.
Especially when you have schools and stuff like that saying the cops are your friend. You know, it's like kids grow up with the schools and stuff teaching them the cops are your friend. They at school handing out suckers and buying bicycles and taking certain kids school shopping. You know, there are things that cops do that are really cool, and they have really, you know, good organizations for underprivileged children and stuff like that. But I still think that they should have classes in school that teach kids how to act, what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say, what to sign, what not to sign. It should be a class for that. It shouldn't be the parents at home teaching all this stuff, and at school is the cops are your friend. You know, the cops are your buddy.
They see something totally different.
Yeah, it's like kids grow up confused. And so when they get in a situation, they thinking, they not thinking, ahead. They're not thinking ahead like, if I say the wrong thing, this cop might beat me down or nothing like that. They're not thinking that. Especially if you don't teach them that. That's why I made my boys watch that show.
My question for the chat.
Question for the chat, y'all.
Not necessarily do we teach our kids to fear the police, but how do we teach them not to fear them? How do we teach them that not all of them are bad? How do you weed them out? How can you read them?
Good question. Chat, anybody want to answer that? Because that's a good question. I would like some advice on that. Because I do know how to teach them, how to act, how to not react. Don't sign any statements. Don't agree to anything. Make sure your parents are around if you're underage, stuff like that. But how to teach them not to fear police? I don't know. Especially when
in today's society.
Right.
With the way things are.
Yeah, because I know when Trayvon Martin, remember that? Trayvon Martin.
Man.
And everybody was representing him, and my kids was wearing their hoodies, and they was taking photos, selfies with their hoodies and putting quotes on social media. And my kids really, just looking at them, and they were younger then, they really were affected like the rest of, everybody else over Trayvon. And they kept thinking he had Skittles.
Because if you ask me, the media outrage and the media's involvement in all of this, and a lot of times I don't want to say it's not that bad, but a lot of times it's not as bad as the media portrays it to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they are throwing fat to the flames and making it bigger and worse than what it should be. Or I should say certain people get more coverage than others.
Right.
Like the only reason Trayvon got all of that is because everybody was making noise. Like, wait a minute, how can this dude be the aggressor and the victim?
You have to make noise. We have to make noise. You got to take it back to the 40s, 50s, and the 60s. You got to take it back to the MLKs. You know, we have to make noise. But I don't think we're making enough noise. You know?
Yeah.
And there be times when things be going on in the world and they be having rallies and stuff like far away. And I be like, dang, I wish I can go. I wish I can take off of work. And, you know, they might have like a rally, you know, here in the city, you know, for somebody who may have been murdered, you know, far away
like
from us.
Like when all that stuff went down with Mike Brown, I wanted so bad to go down to Ferguson and protest.
Yes, me too.
You don't know how bad I wanted to go.
I always be wanting to go.
Me, it wasn't just Mike Brown. It was everybody building up to that.
Yep. Because there was a lot of stuff that happened up to that time. And then, like I remember that time. Remember when the fiance, the guy was supposed to get married like the next day, and he had just had a bachelor party.
Bill.
Yes, that hurt so bad. You know, when things hurt you that bad, it's like, how can you not fear the cops? When you were not even the victim's family,
that hurt me.
Yeah,
deeply.
Especially because he was so young.
You know, he was so young, and then, you know, you reading all these commentaries, and you're talking with your colleagues, because I was still working then, and you have to remember, I was like, in a lot of situations, I was the only black nurse, and not just the only black nurse, the only black person in the whole damn clinic.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, thank God that my family taught me how to have common sense and how to hold a conversation and how to teach you.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I'm cutting you down.
Right.
Because, see, my thing with the whole Trayvon thing was, you are actively chasing this boy. You following him. So what did he do? He followed what we as parents teach our kids to do. Okay, you get on the phone with somebody so somebody else can hear what's going on.
Right.
You walk away from it. You get, okay, this person is pursuing you. You run.
Mm-hmm.
So now they talking about, oh, well, he ran. Well, what the hell did you expect him to do? A stranger was following him.
Exactly. And that's why
Wouldn't
I'm like,
you run?
oh, Lord. Okay, Claude said, I think you have to teach them to view cops on a case-by-case situation, because sometimes you can have a true emergency where the police could potentially save your life. Yep. And one of my tips is, I think he's still typing. You know, the chat only allows you to type so many words in each comment.
Oh,
he said it says one of my tips is if you, and then it stops. So I think he's gonna say something else. But he's right. You do gotta address each situation differently. Sometimes you know right offhand if you're gonna have a situation though. You ever meet a cop, like you said, that one cop, Boulder, like you said, you know, no matter how nice you were or how much you smiled or said hello sir, or you know, something like that, they just seem like they just in a bad spirit.
He's ready for confrontation.
Like they're ready for confrontation.
Constantly.
Right. And then you see the cops where I done seen so many cops where they could drive down my block and I'll be waving. And people used to always talk stuff to me because even in the hood when I was growing up, I would wave at the cop. And people like, why are you waving at the cop? And I'm like, and they would wave back, you know, like, hey, how you doing? You know, and I'm like, I don't know. I just, it's like sometimes I felt like.
It wasn't probably till about my teen years that I started, you know, looking at the cops a lot differently and being very wary of them. Like, I don't know about you.
Yeah. But then Claude said, okay, what he said was one of his tips is if you are accosted by the police, you have to remain calm because you have no idea how the officer will respond. Yep. And that was like you were saying,
But
when
see,
you was
and I
telling your
think that's
son
wrong
not to be
because here
jittery.
they are, they in an agitated state. Here you are, you're being accosted, and you treating them like you would anybody else. They in your face, you getting in their face. And now you're resisting arrest.
Mm-hmm.
It's assault. Well, you push me, you hit me. What am I supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
Just sit there and take it?
And that's the thing. It's like I just always taught my sons, it seems like there's just no pamphlet for how to raise your kids, but I've always taught them, I just want you to come home. Just do what you have to do to come home. And if you happen to get arrested, at least get arrested, go to jail so I can bring you home. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? I don't want to come get you from the morgue or from the hospital or something. And it's not, it's sometimes like you gotta say, suck it up and kiss ass to some of these cops out here. And it's sad that you have to do that. It's like, you don't want to be a punk. You don't want to feel like you're a punk by letting them cuss you out and bully you and stuff. And you just stand there because you're scared. Like back in the day when you were slaves and your owner would come up to you and knock you over the head or steal your wife from you in the middle of the night. You be wanting to do something, and then you feel like you're a punk because you can't, because they'll possibly kill you. So it's like...
Right.
And kids, right? Because we raise our kids to don't let people bully you. Don't be a punk. Don't come home crying to me talking about somebody stole your whatever or somebody done beat you up at the bus stop. You better stand up for yourself and fight back. And then it's like when they get older, it's like, okay, don't do anything. Just forget your rights and just don't do anything. So it's kind of hard, and kids, the kids today, they ain't raised to be punks. They, and that's why cops usually get people for resistance, because they're not raised to just take stuff like that from people when they being, disrespected or bullied. So, but yeah, I do agree with what Clyde was saying about, a case by case situation. You just have to. I think you have to check the cop's demeanor. You gotta feel his vibes. You gotta try to sense what kind of mind frame he's in, and that'll let you know if you can relax and maybe joke around with the cop. Hey, officer, you know what I do? What's going on? Or yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Here's my ID, sir. Here, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have
I don't know. I see, like I said, I watch a lot of them videos, and then I always crack up because the first thing I do is I go to the commentary while I'm watching the videos, and they tell you over and over, the cops are not your friends.
Which is the opposite of what they teach them in school.
Right.
It's the exact opposite, It's like, dang it, can I trust them? Can I not trust them? Can I depend on them to help me if I need help?
Right.
Or will they let me die there because I'm just another, or they might think I'm just another statistic, just another no good kid who's raised in a home that, don't really care about me or care what I do out there. I think a lot of cops.
That's like that whole Amber Geiger and the one where she shot old dude in his own living room.
Man, that was crazy. That was crazy. Like, that's the one who thought, she said that was hers, right? Is that her?
Yeah.
She thought she was going home, or she thought...
Because you got off work and you get home, you park on the wrong floor, but it's marked all over the floor you're on. You go to, quote unquote, your apartment. You don't own a bright red welcome mat.
Right.
And then there's different versions. One version is she was trying her key and it wouldn't open.
Yeah, I heard that one.
On the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another where she says, oh shit, there is a girl, I'm trying to bring these tables in, and there's a raccoon in the bush.
Girl, I'm up here like, you okay? Do we need to call you an officer?
Girl, pimp down. He in the bush just nibbling.
I'm up here like, you. Girl, you scared me.
I do not do critters.
You scared me. Oh, Lord. I'm like, do I need to call 911? I don't know your address, but I know where you live. I can kind of give a description.
Right. Be like, we might have somebody down. I think she might have had a heart attack.
Girl. But yeah, that was crazy. Like, you thought that was your house, you thought that was your crib, and you just shot them. Like, too many of these cops is getting off with stuff.
But the part that pissed me off the most was the fact that she waited. The first call you make is to your partner, not 911. You call your partner. That was a 9-minute call. And then you call, and then you say, yeah, I'm trying to help him. Okay, hang in there, buddy. That's what you're saying to this man that you done shot?
9 minutes later.
And I mean, 9 minutes later.
Because they probably have to make up a story.
Sweetie, being as though I have taken CPR, if you actually rendered aid, you would have been out of breath.
They probably had to make up a story during that 9-minute phone call. You know, she knew she was wrong, and that's why she called her partner. But Claude said, with the police, you have to be vigilant and crafty, because if they are racist, they can shoot you or even worse, kill you. Yep. Yep. You got a point there.
It's a sad, strange world that we live in now. And it's sad that the ones who are supposed to protect us are the ones we have to fear the most right now.
Right. I agree. And I just think we just need to just don't let kids grow up with a one-sided description of what they should think of with the police, or how they should look at the officers of the law, who sometimes take the law in their own hands. I think we need to be, like Clyde said, vigilant. We need to make sure we are vigilant as parents to make sure we raise them and teach them. And it's not ever going to be 100% foolproof. It's not because some kids they know how to act around kids. Some kids know. Okay, don't make any quick movements. Just stand there, talk calmly to the cop, talk calmly. But, you know, it's not 100% foolproof. But I think it helps more than it doesn't help by telling them, you know, all the things.
You know, I say this, and I agree, to not give a one-sided view. I agree totally. But on the flip side, the police should not have a one-sided view when they see a young Latino or black male.
Bingo.
Or a young Latino or black person, period.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what the problem is.
Think they all punks and, you know, they all gangbangers or thugs or whatever. Them little raccoons is right there.
And that's why a lot of people, I remember back in maybe the 90s or maybe the early 2000s, when there was a lot of police brutality going on, and a lot of people was making suggestions that some of the cops should maybe not police areas where they're not familiar. You ever remember that? Like, most of the cops who know the hood should police the hood, you know? Because some people feel like, okay, if you get a suburban cop,
them little young rookies and the ones they knew was racist, they was putting them in the hood.
Right, like how you gonna put a suburban cop that lived I mean,
see?
rich or had, I mean, I guess you shouldn't discriminate where to put people at work. But I'm just saying, I think they should not just throw them into the hood like that. Because when you don't grow up around people, or you grow up in the really nice suburban areas, and all your life you hear about all the bad people who live in the hood, and all the crimes in the hood, and all the gangsters in the hood. And then when you become a cop, they place you right in the hood.
Oh, God, that motorcycle loud.
Of course the cops
we
gonna
out
be
here,
scared.
and I'm trying to get my son to spray these
Spray from
raccoons.
Oh,
And he's
Lord.
like, why are you trying to give me the ammonia?
But yeah, I mean,
Is you the male?
I think that's why a lot of cops always talking about they fear for their safety, because they get thrown into these areas that they read incorrectly sometimes, like they lump us all together sometime, prejudge us. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Is that what they call? What's that training called? I think you had mentioned it earlier.
That's what they did. They just climbed inside of there.
Girl, you might have to get some deer spray. Get some deer spray.
It's two of them. I told you I seen them the other day.
That deer spray work on deer and rabbits. Maybe it'll work on squirrels.
The deer spray work on deer and rabbits, girl, but these raccoons, I seen them the other
that's what I
morning.
meant. I said
And now they done got
squirrels.
closer to my door.
I meant raccoons. I said squirrels. But no,
I ain't worried about.
where I used to live, it used to be deer. Well, it's still deer over there. Deer in the hood. Okay.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
People who ain't from Omaha, who might not know how our city is set up. Like,
well, I seen a deer the other
in the
day.
hood.
We was sitting out in the front yard. My daughter said, "Oh, I see it. I think I seen a deer." I said, "You ain't seen no deer."
They used to be in our yard all the time, in our backyard.
By my car.
Walking up and down the street. I used to hate it. Especially when I used to work at night and I would come home at 2, 3 in the morning, and I would have to sit there for 15 minutes before all the deer got out the middle of the street. But yeah, that deer spray though, that stuff works. It's real strong, and it might work.
He was running down. You know, I live close to Ames. That sucker took off across that the yard where the home for boys was. Took off running. Here.
Lord
I was like,
Jesus.
ooh. I said, now what if he run into Walmart?
Oh my God. But yeah, this was a good live, you guys. We covered a lot of information. I hope that everybody learned something from everybody, from the comments in the chat to the phone call. Again, it's no foolproof way to raise our kids. There's no foolproof way to prepare our kids for encounters with police. But I think a lot of the information that we talked about tonight, Claude said, I agree with you. Kids need to know the truth about the police. Otherwise, they experience culture shock. Oh, my God. If you just say a mouthful right there, culture shock, that's a perfect word for it. That is the perfect word for it. So, yeah, I agree.
That's perfect.
I agree. We got to teach our kids.
If I don't say nothing else tonight, I just really want people to know their rights.
Yep, know your rights.
I really want them to know their rights and to make sure you teach your kids
to know their rights.
Because it's not enough for you as an adult to know them. Your kids have to know them too.
Yeah, and the thing about it is a lot of parents don't know their rights. And I know for sure that there were times when I was growing up, we used to get in trouble. I was no perfect kid. We used to get in trouble. Family members, my brothers, we used to get in trouble out there, y'all. I wasn't a perfect child. But I know back then I didn't know my rights. I didn't know my rights. It was like, okay, the police come talk to you, come holler at you, and you just talk. I never confessed to anything. I knew that much, not to confess to anything. I plead the fifth. I plead all 5 of them. I plead the 5th. But no, but now that I'm older, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. You so silly. Oh, but yeah, I mean, I didn't know then, but I know now. And watching all these TV shows and these documentaries and seeing all these people out here getting murdered by police and then the police getting off, it's very important that we know our rights, you know. But yeah, so yeah. But thank you for
All
calling,
right, well,
home girl. I love every time you
you know
call
I got you,
in.
Mama.
Yes, I love when you, and I'm glad that we talked about this tonight. I had told the chat, and I had told the chat the other day that one of my supporters, one of my friends, had a topic that she felt like we needed to discuss. So this
I'm sorry. I just bought a brand new
that's
bottle.
okay. The lady on the phone is the one who suggested this topic tonight, Chianti. So I'm glad you thought of this topic because it is very important, you know, for us to discuss these things with our kids. But okay, honey, I'm about to wrap this live up, and I will chit
I'm
chat
glad I
with
could be
you.
of assistance. I think my family is looking at me because we got to hang this door back up.
Okay.
So
Well, I'll let
I
you
got to
go.
go, Mama. I'll holler at you later.
All right, hon. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, that was Chianti. Chianti, that was the one who had sent me a message on Facebook the other day and said she wanted to talk about, you know, giving advice to parents, you know, about children and talking about the police and, you know, stuff like that. I thought it was a great idea. So I was like, yeah, I'm all for that. Let's discuss that. Especially, you know, in light of the recent documentary, the Netflix series called When They See Us, about the Central Park Five Boys. Most of y'all know I did four reviews because there was a part 1 through 4 on Netflix. So I did a 4-part review. Thursday. Hold on, what's today? Tuesday? Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I did a 4-part review. It's on my YouTube channel. It's called When They See Us Review, parts 1, 2, 3, and 4. Please check those out. If you have not watched the series, I know a lot of people haven't or having some kind of resistance to watching the TV show because of what everybody else is saying and talking about it. But you have to watch this show. The people who went through that, the 5 boys who went through that, Antron, Yusuf, Kevin, Raymond, Corey, those 5 boys that went through everything and more. We didn't hear and see everything, but from just using your imagination and listen to the stories, especially Corey's story. Corey's story was basically all of part 4. You have to watch that show on Netflix, and then make sure you watch my reviews 1 through 4 on my YouTube channel. I suggest have your not your little kids, but your teenage children, mainly, especially if you got boys, especially if they're black or brown. I really suggest that you have your teenagers watch that show. Have your teenagers, your young adults, my 22-year-old, my 18-year-old sons. I said, you guys promise me this weekend y'all gonna watch that show. They was like, okay, Mom, we on it. But because a lot of things that we talked about tonight, a lot of those things them children in that show in real life did not know. Their parents did not know a lot of their rights, and you just gotta know. You gotta know your rights. You gotta know what to teach your children about the police, because like Claude said in the chat, you have to be vigilant. Even when you meet a police officer, you got to know how to read them. You got to know how to react. It's not 100% foolproof, But we need to know these things, and our children need to know these things. Thank you, Claude. Thank you. God bless you, too. Thank you for joining the chat tonight. I had just talked to Claude the other day. We go way back. Claude and I go way back. But yeah, that was my buddy. So I'm glad you tuned in tonight. Miss Naturally Nolans, you too, honey. And who else came in the chat? I know a lot of people were watching, but you know how it is. Some people too shy to comment in the chat. That's okay. But yeah, check it out. Was in the chat. God's Gift was in the chat. Miss Naturally Nolans was in the chat. So yeah, thanks to everybody who, commented and, converse with us in the chat, and everybody who's watching as well. Thanks to Keonti for calling in and giving us her point of view on this subject, on this topic. You guys, we have, let's see, 2 more days. 2 more days. Today is the 4th. So after the 6th, if I meet my 4,000 watch hours per YouTube's requirement, then I can be reviewed to have my channel monetized. Last I checked, now keep in mind, YouTube, the analytics is 2 days behind, so it might be the 4th today, but YouTube is only up to the 2nd. So I have like the 3rd and the 4th, those numbers aren't counted yet. And then we have the 5th and the 6th. So technically still I have 2 more days because the 3rd and 4th is already here and gone. So I have 2 more days. Last I checked, I had 500 watch hours left. That's not counting the 3rd and today. So the 3rd and today, those numbers aren't in there. Then we have the 5th and the 6th. So I'm going to be going live tomorrow night. I'm going to be going live on the 6th. And everybody who has been helping me reach these hours, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I had people coming into my part-time job tonight at the nursing home. How many more hours you got? I have people texting me. How many more hours you need? I have family members hitting me up. How many more hours you need? What do I need to do to help? What do I need to do to help? All you have to do is go to my channel, go to the main channel, and look across the top, and you see playlist. Find a playlist that has a lot of content, a lot of videos, and just run it. Just run it. Run it all night. Run it all day. We have 2 more days, y'all. Thank you, Natalie Lauren. I'm so nervous. You said I got it in the bag. In the name of Jesus, we got it in the bag, honey. I'm very hopeful. I'm very, very hopeful. I am. I'm very, very hopeful. I'm like, 500 hours? I'm sure we can get that. I'm sure we can get that within 2 days. My sons is running my videos constantly. And then they be coming up to me like, Mom, I didn't know you did a video on that. I'm like, because y'all don't always be watching my videos. Y'all always playing video games. But sometimes they do watch my stuff. My oldest son especially, the 22-year-old, because his girlfriend loves my content. She's probably watching me right now. Hey, girlfriend. That's what I call her. I be telling my son, that's our girlfriend. She's so sweet. I'll be like, hey, girlfriend, when I drop him off or when she comes to pick him up or whatever, because, his car broke down and he don't get his new car till Friday after they fix, like, the alignment and stuff on his new car. He gets his car Friday. But I'll be like, hey, girlfriend. She be like, hey, moms. But, yeah, she be watching my show, so she support me, too. And sometimes he be over there and he be like, Mom, she over here watching you on YouTube. I'm like, oh, hey, that's it. Give me a like. Give me a like. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Make sure you share this video. This video is very important for parents and teenagers, young adults, anybody. So please, you guys, share this out. All you have to do is click share. Share it on your Facebook, Twitter, IG, wherever you can share it. Wherever social media you can share it. If you have a community tab, hold on. Before I let y'all go, I gotta give a shout out to some of the bigger YouTubers who have been sharing my content on their channel, trying to help me with my watch hours. I want to say Miss Corey B. All these people that I'm speaking of, by the way, make sure you subscribe to their channel. They are really very supportive and they have great content. Miss Corey B, the SS fam, Michelle ATL and Brown, Ms. Gina, Queen of Talk. Who else? Did I get everybody? Oh, Corey, Miss Gina, the SS fam, Michelle ATL and Brown. Oh, I can't forget my girl Tracy's Pieces. Tracy Pieces. Hey y'all. That's Tracy. If y'all ain't subscribed to Tracy's channel, okay, if y'all want to know everything that goes down in the YouTube world, like YouTube creator worlds, like beefs and just the drama of the YouTube world as far as creators, like y'all who don't really watch YouTube a lot or may not be subscribed to a lot of people in our sector, y'all might not have no idea, but it goes down. It goes down in these YouTube streets. I stay on the porch though. I'll be on the porch sipping my tea, like just watching. I'll be on the porch sipping my tea. Shoot, I don't be out there in the street, but Tracy, I'm telling you, she be running through these YouTube streets, leaving her shoes on the corner and everything, burning fire in these YouTube streets. Make sure y'all subscribe to Tracy Living My Truth. Oh, the speaker went off. Tracy Living My Truth. Ms. MZ Corey Corrie B. Ms. MZ Gina Queen of Talk. Michelle ATL Brown. The SS fam. There's so many great YouTubers out here. So many great YouTubers. I just wanted to shout those bigger ones out because a lot of bigger YouTubers, they don't really care if you trying to grow your channel. I mean, some of the bigger YouTubers, they know what it was like to be a little YouTuber, and they know how it is trying to climb and climb and climb and climb and get knocked back down, and start climbing and climbing and climbing again. And so they know what it's like to get support. And that's why I do it now. I support people. I watch other people's content. I help people with their watch hours. I do it now. I'm gonna be the same way. You gotta give back. If you ever thought about being a YouTube creator, go for it. But just remember to always be supportive and always support others. And once you get up there and you get all those 1,000 subscribers and get popular and all that kind of stuff, remember where you came from. Always remember who your supporters are so you can continually support others. So that's the game. That's the game in YouTube. You have to support to get support. There's a lot of haters out here in these YouTube streets. So once you find you some people that's solid, some really supportive people that's solid, like real people, down to earth, real people, don't ever forget them. And always continually keep supporting other people. That's how you grow. That's how you grow your channel on YouTube. So, and one more thing. Always be yourself. Don't switch up for nobody. Always be yourself. Find your niche. Whatever you want to do on your YouTube channel, find your niche. And, don't be no one pony show. Did I say that right? One pony show? Yeah, don't be no one pony show. Like Brother Jay say, you can't be no one pony show, but know what your niche is and don't let nobody change you. Always be yourself on YouTube. Don't let nobody change you. Don't be like, oh, but they doing that over there. Maybe I need to be doing that. You find your niche. Because one thing I heard over the last few days about bigger YouTubers is if you start your channel off a certain kind of way, and then you try to do a whole 360 and start doing something else because somebody is doing something else, all them people that you didn't gain, they going to be like, okay, what's going on here? This ain't the person. Why didn't we discuss? Don't be a one pony show. Be broad. Talk about different things on your channel, to keep interest from a lot of different people. But just be yourself. So that's the main thing. If you ever thought about being a YouTube creator, just be yourself. Thank you, Keonti. There she is, Keonti. That's who was on the phone with us tonight. She just popped